you better have a lot of money saved and have a lot of time to find another one, because it's not going to be the same as getting a job in your home country. It's going to be very, very tough to find yet another job, right? What's up, guys? This is Brett here from brettdev.com. On this channel, I talk about my life out here in Thailand as an expat. If you're not new here, but you haven't yet subscribed, then make sure you hit the subscribe button down there. And if you are new here and you are interested in becoming an expat, then check out the link in the top corner of this video, because it's going to be very, very helpful for you. Right, now today I'm going to be talking about 5 common ways that foreigners, expats, make money out here in Thailand, or these could apply to all over the world, okay? So if you are not over the age of 50, if you don't have a pension, or maybe you are over the age of 50 but your pension is low and you need to be able to make money in order to survive, then this video is going to be really helpful for you, okay? Like I said, we're going to be blasting through 5 of the most common ways that expats make money. And these are relevant because depending on where you stay in the world, countries such as Thailand, for example, where I am, there are very, very restrictive work laws. So as an expat, you can't just go to a country and get a regular job in some cases. For example, in Thailand, you can't do any job that a Thai could do. So that's the work law in Thailand. If there's a job that a Thai person could do inside the country, you as a foreigner aren't allowed to actually take that job. It's illegal because you're taking away from something that a Thai person could do. Now, obviously, this doesn't apply all over the world, but this is the case in Thailand. And so that leaves you with very, very few options as to how you can actually make money, right? Because if you come to this country and you can't actually get a job, then, you know, what are you going to do? This is what I'm going to talk about. This is what I'm going to tell you you could do. I'm going to tell you what I see other foreigners doing. And I'm going to blast through these in order of what I think are potentially the worst options all the way to the best options, okay? Or the hardest to the easiest, something like that. Starting with the first one, the first job that a lot of foreigners, a lot of expats try to get into is the import-export business. Because people are coming out to Thailand, it's a natural tendency to go to markets, things like that, or to see things that are cheaper here and then say, wow, I could just buy them here for cheap and sell them in my home country for more expensive. So that's pretty basic. It's arbitrage, buy something, export it from here, import it into your home country. Now, this is really, really difficult for a few reasons, because firstly, there's no real barrier to entry here to do this, other than a little bit of capital to buy stuff. So a lot of people are going to be doing this. And anything that you can think to buy in Thailand and resell somewhere else has probably been tried 1,000 times, right? People were doing this before the internet was even a thing. So it's probably one of the oldest forms of business for expats. But again, has a very low barrier to entry and can be very, very, very difficult. Sidetracking into something else, if you are into import and export, I do know a lot of people out here in Thailand who actually get into manufacturing. Now, that can be very, very profitable because you're actually manufacturing a product. Now, I've known people here that have manufactured, I met a guy once who was telling me he manufactured lanterns. You know, if you look at, you know, Loy Krathong, they have a festival in Thailand called Loy Krathong, or like the Chinese New Year, they light a fire in this big paper thing and they send it up into the sky. I knew a guy here who was manufacturing lanterns and shipping them all over the world. I've met many people here that have factories here in Thailand, and I met a guy once who was manufacturing flies for like fly fishing. And they were one of the biggest suppliers of fly fishing flies. And again, making them here in Thailand, in Chiang Mai actually, shipping them all over the world. Now, this is import-export, but of course it's expensive if you want to open a factory and start manufacturing stuff. So if you've got money and you open a factory, go ahead. The second way that foreigners and expats make money in Thailand is they open local businesses like bars, motorbike rental businesses, even though that one's a little bit, because it could potentially be something that Thais could do, or restaurants. Okay, so restaurants, bars are very, very popular among expats. Of course, you need money to open a physical business, although you wouldn't need nearly the amount of money that you would need if you were opening a business in your home country. You know, I mean, here you just go and just pay a month's rent and cost you a couple £100. Now you've got a place, right? Maybe sign a contract for a year, but Very, very cheap, very easy to open a business. Not that many permits or regulations that are needed, to be honest. However, some of the downsides to owning a business in Thailand is most businesses can only be 49% owned by a foreigner. So if you owned a bar, for example, most people that own bars, they will partner up with their wife or their girlfriend, and the girlfriend will be like a 51% share owner and they will be a 49%. I know a lot of people do it where they'll have three shareholders. So there'll be them at 49%, and then there'll be like two other Thai people that split the 51, and that way they don't like the other person doesn't have say over the business or whatever. So yeah, that's one thing that you can do to make money. That's the second thing you can do: open a business, open a bar. There are also companies that will like help you by owning the 51% of your company, and I don't know too much about the specifics, but I can find out if you're interested and leave a comment below or whatever. But they will split the 51% difference, and that's literally what they do. They're not going to rob your business or anything like that, but who knows, they could. So it's a bit of a funny one to open a local business, but that's the second thing the foreigners do. Of course, if you open a local business as well, you're pretty much tied to Thailand or tied to whatever country you're opening that business in. Same goes for if you're opening a factory or you're doing import and export of a certain type of product. You're kind of stuck in one location. The third way foreigners and expats make money is they just work jobs, but they pick from a handful of limited jobs, right? So there are some jobs you can do in Thailand. For example, you can work for an international company, or you can teach English in a school. So obviously, if you're teaching English in a school, there's a demand for English teachers. You're not taking away a job from a Thai person, so you can always become an English teacher. The downside to that is it's not very well paid. So you're going to make like about 30,000 baht a month, which is about $1,000. And it's hard. I mean, unless you get in with one of the premier international schools, they can pay a bit more. You can earn up to like $2,000-3,000 a month, perhaps, if you get into one of the big schools. But for the most part, government schools, general schools that teach Thais English, you're going to be making about $1,000 a month. You could work for an international company, as I said, and if you want to do that, the best place to find a job working for an international company is going to be LinkedIn. So I get jobs sent to me all the time on LinkedIn, and every company you can think of has a base pretty much in Bangkok. Now, of course, you're going to need to be skilled. You're going to have to be coming from a background of expertise for whatever job you apply for, but you can get proper good jobs, proper good pay, based in Bangkok for an international company. It's probably going to be pretty hard and pretty competitive to get those jobs, but you're probably not going to have to speak English if you're working for an international speak Thai, sorry, if you're working for an international company, but they are there. Go on LinkedIn and have a look. One of the downsides to that is, of course, if you were to lose, this is what I don't like about this, is if you were to lose your job, you are screwed, really. I mean, if it's very, very hard to get an international job and you come to Thailand, you get a job and you build a whole life for yourself, and then for whatever reason you lost your job, you better have a lot of money saved and have a lot of time to find another one, because it's not going to be the same as getting a job in your home country. It's going to be very, very tough to find yet another job, right? The fourth way that expats make money in Thailand is they just work remotely, right? So you could get a job in another country that enables you to work remotely. So you could just sit on your computer in your house doing your job. Obviously, it's a lot more common now because of what's happened over the past year and a half. Again, the problem with remote work is remote working jobs that are willing to allow you to work in Thailand are probably very hard to get. And if you lost it, again, you better have a lot of money behind you so that you can chill and find another job. But good while it lasts, essentially. So yeah, remote work is a way that expats make money online. There are lots of job boards as well. So if you are interested in getting a job remotely, there are actually job boards on the internet dedicated to, they only list remote work jobs. Most of them are programming related and or online marketing. But yeah, I'll see if I can find some remote job boards, and I'll also link those in the description below if you're interested in going down that route. Now, the fifth and the final way, it's not the fifth and the final way. There are lots of ways, but these, I'm only going through 5 for this video. I might make another video if you like it. But the 5th point that I have in this video is starting your own online business or making money on the internet. So what's going to fall into this category are all kinds of things, right? YouTube could be one, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, just an online business where you run your own business, you serve clients, customers, whatever, and you make money that way. Now, this is obviously my favorite way to make money as an expat. If you follow my channel, then you'll know that, because if you have a business, if you have multiple clients, you can build a life for yourself, and if you lost a client, you've got other clients, right? You're not really going to be screwed. So as opposed to where if you had a regular job and you got fired, now you're, what are you doing? You're panicking. Or if you have a business and your business, something happens with business laws or whatever, or there's a pandemic and your business goes down. I'm not saying an online business would be immune from a pandemic, but you get what I'm saying. It's many fingers in many pies, kind of, if you have your own online business and if you're making money on the internet. A lot of people I know that make money on the internet, they won't just do one thing. They have multiple things going on, multiple streams of revenue. I think if you want to be an expat long term, then this is the most secure way. It can be a little bit harder to get started because there's a learning curve to it. But I think the amount of time people spend hunting for a remote job, some people spend 6 months looking for a remote job. They could just start their own online business. Something very simple, doesn't have to be very complicated, and within 6 months they could have an online business instead of an online job, which is, again, for me, the whole perk to being an expat and living in Thailand isn't really, it's cool that I live in Thailand, but what I really like the most is the freedom, right? And I feel like if you have an actual job or you're tied to a business, you don't have freedom. And ultimately, that is the best thing you could possibly have. You could have a remote online job, or you could have an actual job in Bangkok that pays you 10 grand a month, but you're a slave to it, right? I would rather take 2 grand a month and be free. So that's it, guys. That's the 5 most common ways that expats make money. What would I suggest you do? Obviously, I'm biased, but what I would say is, if you want to become an expat, if you want to travel, or if you want to live in Thailand, then don't choose a way to make money just because it makes you money. All right? Don't go into something that you're not going to like, because you've got to think, like I said, you're building a whole life for yourself, and your life's going to change, and you're not going to want to go back to your old life. So if you do something just to make money, you're going to end up in a world of hurt a year, 2 years down the line. Do what suits you best. Obviously, for some people, they're going to prefer doing one thing. For other people, you're going to prefer doing another. Each thing that I've suggested in this video comes with its own hurdles, its own risks, its own rewards. For me personally, I like freelancing. I like the agency model. I like starting your own online business, working with clients. I look at it as having multiple jobs all at once, and if you lose one, then you're fine, and you can make a lot more money than you would in a regular job, right? If you're interested in that and in what I do, then check out this link here, because I have a full breakdown of exactly how I run my business and all that sort of stuff. And if you like this video, then you're probably going to like this video as well. That's all for now, guys. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how you plan on making money as an expat.